earlier. So I would suggest to my colleagues that we support this motion.
To your second?
No further comments.
And seeing no further discussion, please vote.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Moving on to the other item we pulled, item 1M. It's a motion, annual review of the Code of Ethics. May we have a staff report, please?
Briefly, this is an annual review. All the boards and commissions take a look at the Code of Ethics, and if they have any recommended additions or changes, then they would come forward now, but there were no recommended changes.
Very good. Any questions of staff? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Does any member of the public wish to address us on this item? And don't be intimidated by the microphone guy. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Vice Mayor.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
Thank you, Tim.
Please continue, if you wish.
I just thought, because we have such a immense audience tonight, that I thought it was important for all of us to know that the council members take the Code of Ethics very seriously. We hope that you have read how we conduct ourselves personally and publicly with dignity and respect and privacy of others, individuals and organizations. And these times when we read about things that are not so ethical and done with integrity in the world, I think it's nice for you to know that your city, the city where you live, the community where you live, does abide by the highest standards possible. So with that, I know my colleagues will join me in approving this annual review of our ethics code.
Okay, I believe you also spoke to your motion. Does the seconder wish to speak to a second? Any further comment? Please vote.
The motion carries unanimously.
Very good. We're now done with the consent calendar. We'll move on to our public hearings general business portion of the meeting. And again, since we have a number of new faces, I would like to explain the procedure that we'll be using. First of all, I will announce the item, which is a resolution, Persian Drive rename study. Then I will ask if there is a report from our staff. I believe there will be. Staff will present the report. I will then open the opportunity for the council to ask questions of the staff in order to clarify the report. And then I will open up the public hearing. Now, for this public hearing, this is an application. A party has applied to the city for an action to be taken, and they've paid a fee. So the public hearing will be conducted in the same way we conduct any other hearing about an application, which means that the applicant will get an opportunity to speak first. They will be able to make a presentation. And then I will open the floor to comment from the public. And I see that you have all seen the speaker cards. I will call people from the public in the order that I have received these cards. At the end of the cards, I will ask if there is anyone else who wishes to speak. And then anyone who has not filled out a card will then have an opportunity to speak if they wish. When everyone has had a chance to speak, then I will ask the applicant to come up once again to make closing remarks and address any questions that were raised by the public who came to speak. And at that point, I will then close the public hearing. The council will debate the item and will vote. So, with that procedure in mind, I now announce that we are now on item number 2, which is a resolution, the Persian Drive study. Is there a staff report?
Yes, Mayor. Fred Bell, Principal Planner. Please note before I begin that since the staff report was prepared, a number of correspondence, principally emails and phone calls, have come to staff. Those have been made available to you in this packet, and staff has, as I said, returned a number of phone calls today. But this item began on January 7th of this year when the Board of Directors of the Hindu Temple approached the city requesting consideration of a rename of property located on Persian Drive. The Board of Directors is requesting the street name change extending from Persian Drive to Mandir only for that portion of the street extending from Matilda to Fair Oaks. Mandir, by the way, means temple. The Indian community is making this request, as staff understands, is to better identify the temple location, which they believe would significantly enhance fundraising efforts needed to maintain and enhance programs offered by the Temple Community Center. In addition, the board believes the temple's location would be easier to find for those members traveling from some distance. In February, the City Council granted the request to proceed with an application for consideration, and that application was filed just a few days later. Subsequent to the application filing, Council directed staff to develop a process and a series of criteria that would be used to evaluate the application and similar applications that might be filed in the future. In April, Council also adopted a street naming policy detailing the process to be used by both public and private streets. And then the following June, shortly thereafter, Council adopted the specific criteria. In the discussion section of the staff report provided to Council on this item, the criteria have been applied as directed in its analysis of the proposed project. As Council will have noted in its